Hi, everyone. Thank you very much for taking the time to join today's webinar. I think we are going to wait some extra minutes for some latecomers, but right after that, I think we are ready to get started. In the meantime, let me just share some information with you. As you probably can see, I've started to record these webinars. So after the webinar, you are going to receive the recording from us and also the PPT. So I would encourage you to take the time to listen, and you do not necessarily need to take any notes because we'll send you everything. And of course, you can also use the chat in order to communicate with each other, or if you have any questions during the webinar, feel free to ask them. And at the end of this session, we are going to take the time to answer these questions. So feel free to ask or provide us any feedback. Let me just unmute myself for like probably 2 minutes, and then we can get started. All right, I think we can get started now. And of course, everyone can join who is a little bit late. So let me just share my screen with you, and then we have everything. All right, could you please let me know if you can see my screen?
Yes.
Okay, good. That's really nice. Thank you very much. All right. Okay, so as you can know, today's topic is going to be how to get feedback from your customers and why to do it to increase your sales. So today's main topic is going to cover 6 killer strategies to get some customer feedback in order to increase your sales and your retention rate as well, basically. Um, this is Kate. I'm the on-site journey optimization specialist at OptiMonk. So what I do is that I basically help our clients to better understand their current customer journey and to help them find the opportunities that they can leverage to make it better. And I also have a guest, Tim. Thank you very much for joining today's webinar. Tim is responsible for the marketing and partnerships at Growave, and he's also going to share some very interesting information and good to know tips on how to get more feedback from your customers. So thank you very much, Tim, for accepting our invitation, and welcome to today's webinar.
Hello, everyone, and welcome. And thanks for the invitation, actually. I'll be glad to share my tips and strategies.
We just can't wait to get to that point as well. But before, let me just briefly introduce you what OptiMonk does for those who probably haven't heard about it, about us yet. So OptiMonk is an on-site message toolkit. So basically what we do is that whenever someone gets to your website, your e-commerce store as a visitor, we just start to monitor their behavior. And we do it in order to understand what messages to display to these visitors, when to display them, and where to show these messages in order to increase their average order value, their conversion rate, and probably most importantly, their user experience and retention rate. We are available in more than 150 countries now, which means that more than 60,000 website owners use OptiMonk on a daily basis in order to better optimize their results. So we are working on more than 1 billion page views monthly to convert more than 1 billion pages on a monthly rate. And before just getting very deep into the topic, I also wanted to show you some interesting facts that SurveyMonkey found in their research to put this whole feedback, asking for feedback, receiving it, dealing with feedback topics into context. So one very interesting thing that they found was that 85% of small and mid-sized companies say that online feedback has been useful for their businesses. And basically, this is one main reason why we found it very important to talk about it as well in today's webinar, because we also experienced the same, and I'm pretty sure that Tim is going to share some experiences regarding that in his blog as well. So very often what we can see is that, when a problem occurs, solving it is basically depends on whether you ask how to do it or not. So it's very important to ask feedback from your visitors and from your customers repeatedly, because this is how you will be able to better imagine what they experience when they visit your site. And the other fact is also partly about it. It says that 91% of people believe that innovation should be fueled by listening to buyers and customers rather than hiring experts, which I think is a very interesting fact that people really do believe in it. But it proves you very clearly that you can have the best team ever, you can have the best products ever, if you don't listen to what your customers really need and how they imagine your services or what they actually are seeking to get, you are not going to succeed completely. And of course, the other thing that I also wanted to mention here is that very often what we experience is that people they either do not ask for feedback, or when they do it, very often they do it in the wrong way. And why you're probably doing it wrong? Well, what I usually experience, these are the three main reasons that can be behind the wrong tactics. First of all, is that you are showing the same service for everyone, which is of course a mistake, because your visitors are just not the same. They have different things in their mind, different experiences, different needs, and because of that, they will not be able to provide you a good, valuable feedback for anything. So you have to better understand who your customers are and what questions should be displayed to which segment of your audience. The second one is that you are asking feedback at the wrong time. It's also can be connected to the first one. If you do not understand properly what your customer needs or where they are in their customer journey, you are not going to be able to determine the proper time when they will have the information or the opinion to share with you. So you shouldn't ask it too early, but of course you shouldn't miss it at all either. And the third one, well, it sums up the first two. If you are ignoring the visitor's customer journey journey, where they are at their customer journey, it is going to be really difficult to show them a personalized message, which really tells them that you are interested in their opinion and you're just not, displaying messages over and over again to get some feedback from someone. And what we think is the proper way of asking for feedback from your visitors is the concept of on-site journey optimization. But what's that? What does it mean? In order to help you better understand what it means, I put this chart together, which compares on-site journey optimization with conversion rate optimization. Conversion rate optimization, I think it's a pretty well-known term, but I think repeating what it is and comparing it with on-site journey optimization is going to clear everything. So conversion rate optimization usually focuses on increasing the conversion rate, right? However, it usually does it even at the cost of destroying the customer experience. If you just think about it, if you are a first-time visitor to an e-commerce store, you just arrived, you do not have too much information about what you are looking for or what you can get at that from that site. Well, you are there as a first-time visitor, and a second later, you already get the discount, and another one, and again, and again. And the main focus is on closing the deal as soon as possible, as quickly as possible, without taking into account that the visitor probably is not ready to make any decisions. On-site journey optimization, on the other hand, it improves the customer experience and it helps the shopper in a better, more effective way. So what you have to understand is that you have to deal with your visitors as human beings, and you have to at least segment your visitors into smaller groups to better understand what they need at that point. Again, if we are talking about improving improvements, what we can see is that conversion rate optimization obviously has an impact on your conversion rate. However, on-site journey optimization is also going to have an impact on your conversion rate, but other than that, it will help you increase your average cart value, your return rate, and your customer satisfaction rate. Conversion rate optimization, it usually tries to convince the visitors to purchase. So it focuses on quick, immediate sales. However, on-site journey optimization, the main goal of it is to create value at every point of the customer's life cycle. So that first of all, it just takes a look at the customer and tries to understand what should be valuable at that stage for the customer, and provides that kind of help to them. So what we can say about them is that conversion rate optimization, it is like a short-term thinking, a short-term mindset. However, on-site journey optimization, it focuses on the long term, and it creates a long-term strategy. It is a long-term thinking, not just because you are not focusing on quick sales only, but also because you also have to learn how to be patient, and it takes time, of course, because e-commerce store owners, of course, wish to increase their income. This is the #1 goal, and that's completely all right. However, you have to understand that there's a way that you need to create for your visitors before it happens. So I also wanted to show you how you can implement this new process, this new methodology into your own businesses. And actually, it consists of 3 main steps. First one is to analyze your current on-site journey. Once it's done, you have to create a new on-site journey optimization plan. And third of all, you have to deliver everything that you planned. And these 3 main steps, they are built up of 3 minor steps. So first of all, what we usually do with our clients is that we go to a discovery interview. And of course, if you are doing it for yourself, I would encourage you to do the same and to try to better understand where you are in your industry, what is your position, what are your USPs, who are your competitors, what makes you you different from them, what your customers are they loyal to you, or are they loyal to the products, the brands only? So there's a couple of questions that you should ask yourself to better understand your current position. And once it's done, you should also just take the time and spend some time in your Google Analytics account to find some opportunities, like what are those pages that have high traffic but low conversion rate? Probably there are some problems on those pages, and probably you could ask your visitors what those problems are. Once you have the data collected, you should prioritize all your opportunities, because I'm pretty sure that at the end of this data collection process, you are going to have a bunch of ideas that you could do to better optimize your entire customer journey. Once it is prioritized, you should have a solution brainstorming, because of course, just because you have opportunities, you do not have solutions. So you should just think about what could be the solution for these opportunities. Then you can create your on-site journey plan. You can create wireframes, but of course, if you just wish to skip it, that's okay as well. We usually create wireframes, and out of the wireframes, we design the messages, set up the new campaigns, and analyze the results at the end. And of course, as I've mentioned to you earlier, this requires long-term thinking. So when we get to the end of this process, we just repeat, because there's always room for improvement, of course. All right, and I've mentioned to you so many times that it is really important, and you do have to understand that your visitors are different, and they are on different awareness stages when they enter your site. And of course, this is something that was not developed by us, but I also wanted to show you this, because usually what I can see is that we just tend to forget that people are not the same. So I wanted to show you these 5 stages of customer awareness as well. On the first stage, we can talk about completely problem on our visitors. They are the ones who do not have any knowledge about the fact that they probably have a problem. Just to give you an example, if you are selling bikes online and you display a Facebook ad about a woman who is, riding a bike, probably it is an eye-catching image, and someone just clicks on it, so they enter your site. But at that point, they probably do not need a bicycle, or they do not know that they do need a bicycle. So at this stage, you have to build up that problem awareness. You have to sell them the problem itself. On stage 2, we can talk about problem-aware visitors. They are the ones who already know that they have a problem. They wish to somehow travel from A to B, but they do not know what would be the solution for that. On stage 3, we can talk about solution-aware visitors. So they already know that a bicycle is going to be a good solution, but they do not know what type of bicycle they need. On stage 4, your visitors already know that they need a city bike, because most of the times they travel within a city. So probably a city bike is going to be a good fit for them. But at this stage, they are still hesitant, and you still haven't convinced them enough. Probably they are just reading feedback, customer feedback, or they are checking, comparing your prices with your competitors. So they are not convinced at this stage. And on stage 5, we can talk about fully aware visitors who have all the information that they need, but they are still waiting for a good deal, probably. And I believe that providing discounts should come in handy at this stage for those visitors who seem to be completely aware, but still hesitant because they are waiting for a better deal. And from now on, we are going to see how to ask feedback from visitors at the different awareness stages. And as I've mentioned, on the first stage, we can talk about clients, visitors who are completely problem unaware. They do not know that they probably have a problem. So when they enter your site, you can ask very simple questions from them, but the most important goal of yours is to understand what type of visitors they are, because it's very mutual. They do not know anything about you, and you don't know too many things about them. Probably you know their source, but nothing else. So first of all, you have to understand who they are, and a good solution or a good example for that would be something like this. Hey, how old is your child, right? But you are not asking this question, but you are wrapping it to a very nice question with some immediate answers, which will also have the visitor, because when they click any of them, any of these options here, you can immediately redirect them to the products that are going to be interesting and relevant for them. When we are talking about problem-aware visitors, those who already know that they have a problem, but they do not know how to solve it, well, at this stage, I would say that your most important goal is to help your visitors understand that their problem is big. Because if someone starts to thinking about that they probably need a bike and they wish to buy a bike, you know, at this stage, then this is very fragile and it can disappear. So it's your turn to make them understand that a bike is going to be a good solution for them for sure, and you have to keep their attention. So should be your number one goal. And second of all, you can also leverage this stage to better qualify your visitors so that you can understand and you can decide how likely it is to close that deal somewhere in the future. So you can ask about their daily routines, or you can ask some question about to understand how important that product that you can provide to them is for them. For visitors who are on stage 3, solution aware, they already know that they have a problem and that they should solve it. However, they do not know how to solve it exactly. They do not know what product is going to be a good pick for them. So at this stage, what I see is that your most important goal is to have them choose the right product. This is actually similar to the first one that I've showed you. However, it also is a little bit different because it is just going to show some exact product categories to your visitors. So the topic itself is widened at this stage. And for product aware visitors who already know what products they need, your number one goal is to understand what is probably still missing for them to make a decision, so that you can use that piece of information to better optimize what is the content on your site, basically. So we also had a client who was using survey questions mainly for these kind of visitors, and they could generate like 300 very valuable feedback from their visitors in a very short time, so that they could better understand what information they were missing from their site. And after they put it there, it was a lot easier for for stage 4 visitors to make a decision. And for completely aware visitors, you can basically just guide them to start shopping, to start purchasing. And of course, you can also use this opportunity to better optimize your deals, to make your deals more suitable, more personalized to the clients that are on your site. You can also provide some discounts at this stage if you think that your visitors still seem to be quite hesitant about whether they wish to make a deal with you or not. So for the feedback, you can also provide them some immediate discounts if you think that this is going to break the ice and help them decide to continue. And I also wanted to show you one more, which is stage 6. These are the visitors who've just made a purchase, and I think it's really important to talk about this as well, because very often we forget that just because someone made a deal, someone placed an order, it doesn't mean that our job is done. Of course, at this stage, we still have things to do. This is the best time to deepen the relationship and to continue to build trust. And of course, this is the best time to get some immediate feedback about the overall customer experience. How was it to buy from us? Was it easy? Was it destructed with some elements or anything like that? So even if you ask some very simple questions at this stage, I would say that visitors are usually very open-minded, because they will feel that you still care. Just because they already trusted you by providing their money, you still care and you still wish to hear their opinion. So basically, these were the most important things that I wanted to share with you for today. And I also put together a quick summary, some main takeaways. So what you should remember from today's webinar is probably that on-site journey optimization increases your conversions, but it does it at all stages of the purchasing funnel. So if you take the time to better understand your visitors and how they behave on different stages, it is not only going to have an impact on your conversions and your immediate income, but also on your user experience. And because of that, it is going to positively influence your retention rate. And of course, that is a main thing to achieve in 2021. Because loyal customers are the basis of long-term success. Second of all, you should always focus on what's relevant to your visitors, and not only on those things that are very important to you. So even if you have some hot topics, even if you have some main problems and you wish to better understand what the solution could be for that, you wish to ask your visitors' opinion, you should still keep in mind that this question is just not going to be relevant for everyone, whoever entered your site. And don't forget that your job is not done after the first order happened. And if you take the time to ask some simple questions at the stage from your visitors, you will show that you still care about them and about their opinion. So it is going to have a good impact on the overall user experience as well. And of course, if you wish to learn more about on-site journey optimization and what other tactics you could implement right away, I would absolutely recommend everyone to download this guide on this link right here. And of course, we also have a forever free account. So if you wish to implement all these new learnings right away, you can simply sign up for an account at www.optimonk.com, and you can give a try to each of them. So thank you very much. That was all that I wanted to share with you. And now I'm just asking Tim to start his part.
Thank you so much. It was very informative. For those of you just joining us, hello and welcome. My name is Tim. As mentioned previously, I handle marketing and partnerships at Growave. So what is Growave? This is a Shopify app, and we are exclusively available on Shopify only. We help merchants to drive conversions, boost sales, and build brand loyalty with tools like reviews, wish lists, loyalty program, referral marketing, emails, and user-generated content. Also, We are a Shopify partner and currently have 12,000 shop owners using Growave. So let's get started for our first question. How NPS can save you time and help with prediction? Basically, NPS stands for Net Promoter Score. Most of you know this. Here's the definition you find on the internet. You don't have to search it. Here are the basics. The Net Promoter Score is an index. It measures the willingness of customer to recommend the company's product or service to others. Also, this is a standard indicator for customers' experience with your company, customers' loyalty to the brand, and this also helps to predict business growth. So what we get from it is that it helps with the brand exposure from the trusted buyers, helps to find people who are not likely to stick to your brand. And what does it actually mean for us? This is another way of using it to collect a lot of 5-star reviews and counter incoming negative reviews. Simple as that. That is why NPS saves your time, it saves your nerves, and predicts when is the best time to ask reviews from your customers. Since we all know that an engaged and happy shopper will be glad to write a review. It can give you an understanding of what your shoppers feel about your brand or specific products right now, since it answers 2 simple questions. The first one is when to ask a review. Our answer is once the NPS is rated 9 to 10. And the second one is who to send review requests to. We can get the actual person who has rated and connect with them. NPS plays a huge role if you wanted to understand the behavior as well. It is often seen in B2C businesses, but if you are B2B, NPS works awesome as well. Here's my example. Growave is the most relevant illustration to me because we constantly check merchants' experience, check their satisfaction with our products, and thoughts about our app. Only then we engage with them for their appreciation. Just in case if you're wondering how to evaluate NPS, you can check it on this slide. Here's a quick way. Get your message done with the answer to your key question using a 0 to 10 scale. Most of the time it sounds something like this. How likely would you recommend this product to a friend? Then you will have respondent groups, 3 of them. The first one is promoters who are loyal enthusiasts who will keep buying and referring others. Remember that they fuel growth. There will be also passives who are satisfied, but they are vulnerable to competitive offerings. And the last one is detractors. They are unhappy customers who can damage your brand and slow down the growth through the negative word of mouth. Therefore, simply subtracting the percentage of detractors from the percentage of promoters will get you the NPS. Again, use it to decrease the number of the unsatisfied users. So the second main question is how to reward your shoppers and increase their loyalty. Can we move to the next slide? Yeah, great. This is actually very subjective and very personalized. Perhaps requires some brainstorm and a few tests before you get to the best choice. Here's what I mean. Let's say the margin is high enough and you sell low price products. You can just provide it like 1+1, buy one product, get another one for free for leaving a review. But most of the time you will end up with the rewards like the most common ones are these 2, the in-store cash and discounts. So in-store cash is money your customers get for leaving a review so they can use it for their next purchase. And discounts are similar to in-store cash, but the reward is in percentages. Here is the small marketing technique when it comes to in-store cash and discounts. Both of them are similar, but which one sounds the best in certain cases? In general, a percentage discount works better when the product is below $100 and in-store cash when the product costs more than $100. So how does it work? Here's an example. The 15% discount offers slightly more savings than the $50 in-store cash for the $400 product. And yet the $50 in-store cash is of a higher perceived value for the most consumers because 50 is a larger number than 15. And because the offer itself doesn't require buyers to do a complex math, instead, customers can immediately see what their discount will be and the impact of the promotion. For this reason, the dollar off promotion can generate more sales for the retailer. Even though it offers a small savings for the consumer, psychologically it feels bigger and has a greater perceived value, which leads to greater results for the retailer. Another one is free shipping. Get the free shipping with your next purchase. This is how the discounts usually sound like. The app you are using might have the functionality to put the minimum purchase required. It helps to sell more expensive products with the earned discounts, but be careful, it might not work all the time. It might actually get a few support tickets for you as well. And the last one is gift cards. In my opinion, it's a bit extreme. Maybe this is quite a subjective one, but I feel like gifting cards will cost you more compared to discounts and in-store cash. A proper gift card amount ranges from $10 to $100, and I bet not many people would love to receive the $10 gift card, since psychologically $10 in-store cash reward sounds better for me, and I expect more value from a gift card rather than from in-store cash. Even they can have very similar in what they do. So the third main question here is different ways to communicate with your customers and ask for the reviews. Mostly you're a hustler, you're an entrepreneur, small or enterprise business owner or dropshipper, and you always test various methods to collect feedback. Here are the most common ones, and I have a one slide surprise for you at the end. The idea behind the below variations is the same, but being able to use and test different approaches is a key factor to choose the one that works best in your niche and to your audience. By the way, don't forget to always edit templates, whether it is email, SMS, push notification, pop-ups, etc., since no one knows your customers better than you. That is why I always put a touch of personalization into it. So let's get started with emails. This is the most common way to earn and showcase shoppers' trust in your products, usually available within your review app you are using, and it doesn't require the third-party integration. The second famous one is push notifications. It is actually another strong tool to re-engage with your customers who recently bought a product on your store. Most of the time it requires integration with a third-party app, since you want to connect your review app with the push notifications, but it's a great tool to catch your customers' attention when they are not browsing your website. The third one is SMS. Again, it mostly requires the third-party integration and allows you to send the review request reminders right after they receive the product via SMS. Then we have the pop-ups. They are good to get instant feedback if you have a strong message. This is the key, but be aware that you might gain a lot of negative reviews as well. And with a simple connection with your customer, you can address the shopper's issue instantly. So as you can see, it can work in two different ways. And one of my favorites is a loyalty program, as it has been discussed previously. A very easy way to earn their trust, ask them reviews, and reward users to be engaged most of the time with you is a loyalty program. This is a simple way to include a small portion of discount, free shipping, or in-store cash, and ask to leave a review for the specific product and letting them know that they will earn a reward for that. It must be something they can use in your store so you can retain the customers later. So the last surprise I was talking about is a QR code. This actually my idea. It came to my mind last year. Perhaps someone is using it already, but the idea is super simple. So you don't have to pick a time to send a review request. What you do is you can try to integrate your QR code generator into your review app. So whenever the package or parcel is delivered and opened, it will contain a small QR code on one of the papers, and then they can use it as an alternative way to leave a review, because QR code will send them to the link on your store. But don't forget to add an awesome message to your customers, and perhaps even a small sentence that will motivate them to leave a review so they can get another 10% discount or free shipping for their next purchase. Still, this is just my idea. It might not work most of the time, but brainstorming leads to crazy, creative, yet effective approach. So my main idea is not to limit yourself with something standard. And by the way, I believe that I forgot to mention that in order to get a very professional reviews, make sure to have a photo or video feature and custom fields feature in your review app, so users can leave more detailed reviews with photos, size, material quality information, and so on. And it will definitely generate more sales. It will slightly increase your conversion rate at the beginning, but the main thing, it will bring you this very strong social proof. So I believe these are my tips and strategies. Thank you so much for your attention. And main takeaways from this are that I mentioned that using NPS to find the best time and the best customer to ask a review is a key, since we'll always have this list of customers to work with. Let's say the first one will be promoters. You can straightly ask them to leave a review, and the passives, we will always be in touch with them, always suggest to do actions on your website and motivate them with the rewards I mentioned. And the detractors, you will need to spend some time with them to show them a value. So show them that you care about their opinions, and then at the end convert them to the buyers and retain them. The second one is testing various options to motivate and incentivize your shoppers. As I mentioned, there are several of them. And the last one is you need to test even more methods to find the ways to reach your customers. There are also a few variations you can use in the future. And yeah, that's all for me. And since we are in a very good relationships with OptiMonk, I would love to thank Kate for organizing this webinar. And would love to share an extended 2-month free trial from Growave. Hope the ones of you who have a Shopify store will benefit from it, since we are exclusively on Shopify. Yeah, thank you so much for this great opportunity.
Thank you very much, Tim, for all the very interesting information that you shared with us today. Let me see if there are any questions in the meantime. There were some questions whether the recording is going to be shared. Yes, you will receive the recording and those the PPT, so you will have all the information that you probably missed. All right. Do we have any other questions? Probably. You can still take the time to put some questions to the chat window. All right. As I can see, there are not too many questions. You can, of course, also get in touch with us after the webinar itself. So you will have our email address in the PPT. If there is anything that you wish to ask, you can drop us a line. And I can see that someone is typing a question right now. So I just wait for it. Oh, it's almost 11 o'clock in your country, Tim, as I can see it on the clock.
Yeah,
wow.
But that's fine. That's actually
quite
fine.
late.
No problems. And I forgot to mention that there is actually my email in the PPT, so you can just reach me out and ask some questions if you have any. Yeah.
Let me just put it actually here, so everyone will have it. It's support at Growave, right?
Yes, one is a support at Growave, and another one is Timur at growave.io.
All right, IO.
Not com, yes.
Yeah.
Fine.
Typical mistake.
Yeah.
Yeah, this is the one.
Thank you.
Mine is All right. Anyone else? Probably. We are still waiting for Fernando's question. Yeah, it is here. Is it better to ask individual questions when you are trying to get information from your visitors? Or is it better to ask in the same moment more questions? Well, this is a very good question, I would say. And I think that it's not, the answer is not basically yes or no. So people who seem to be more engaged to you, probably they will be more open-minded to answer more questions. However, those who do not really have the trust at that point, probably one question is enough for them, the most important question, for instance, so that you are not asking too much from that visitor. But this is a really, really good question. Probably you can also use these questions for early stage users to better direct them on your site. So if you still think that you need to ask more questions from them, you can just use it to show them the products that probably will be interesting for them. So what I have in mind is that, for instance, an early stage visitor gets to your site and you just ask some very simple questions to qualify them, like, are you interested in men's clothes or women's clothes? Simple question. They click on one of the buttons. For instance, it's me, I click on women's clothes. Then you ask my size, for instance, or my age or something like that. That will also, just widen the options that I should select from. So you enter a couple of options that I can select from, size 6, 4, 8, whatever. I pick the one, then you show me or ask me, okay, are you searching for clothes for some occasions or casual clothes? What is your interest at the moment? So I enter it again. So it is like a survey which works like a filtering system, I would say. And I'm pretty sure that this is not the actual feedback form that you have in your mind when you are asking whether you can ask more than one question from everyone. But I think if you wish to, just interact with your visitors, and this is the reason why you are asking questions, for early stage users, I would do it in this way and following this strategy to have them find what they need, because very often what we can see is that early stage visitors are lost because there are just way too many options to select from. But if we are talking about feedback like, are you satisfied with what you got? Would you recommend our site to your friend or anything like that? Then I would absolutely decide on the number of questions based on the stage of the visitor. The more engaged, the more questions you can probably ask from them. Yeah. All right, and of course, if you have more questions about it, or if you wish to learn more about getting feedback, if you need like a one-on-one consultation, we can also do that. So feel free to get in touch, just schedule a time.
Yeah, no problem. You can email me or Kate.
Yes, absolutely.
For any kind of concerns.
All right. Well, I think we do not really have any other questions, or at least nobody seems to be typing right now. So thank you very much for your time. It was a pleasure to hold this webinar for you. It's always a pleasure, and I'm very happy for your questions as well. Tim, again, thank you for accepting the invitation. And I wish you all a happy new year, actually, because we are just at the beginning of this new year. So thank you very much, and have a nice day.
Yeah, thank you to Kate. Thank you for organizing this awesome webinar, and thanks to everyone who is attending.
Thank you, and bye-bye.
Bye-bye.